Alright, so we have Tim Bradley and Diego Chavez next week as well. Same night that Amir Khan and Devin Alexander is fighting, but the Bradley Chavez fight is going to be on HBO. Alright, so what I'm expecting for this fight? This has potential to be a good fight because Tim Bradley is one of those guys that's a good boxer. He has good boxing ability and he uses intelligence when he wants to. Okay, if you look at the Marquez fight, he was very cautious in that fight. You know, fighting a legend like Marquez, a great counterpuncher. He fought the right fight in that fight, in that match, and beat Marquez pretty decisively. You know, pretty decisively. I think he won maybe about 3 rounds by 3 rounds or so. But then you got the fights where, you know, he's reckless. You know, at some points in the second Pacquiao fight, he was just going for the knockout. Then you had the Provodnikov fight where he was trying to brawl against Ruslan, a guy that loves the brawl. You know, that's a guy that you just don't want to, you know, his chin is made of stone, and this guy got some serious punching power, and, you know, he knocked Bradley into, almost knocked him into a coma in that fight. All right. So then you got those kind of fights, and, you know, that's the thing with Bradley, Tim. You just don't know how he's going to take the fight, you know, because he's a good boxer, but he's a warrior, you know. He just wants to, you know, he wants to beat you at whatever style it is you fight, you know. Whatever way you like to fight, he wants to beat you at your own game. And sometimes he loses discipline in his fights. And this could make it a good action fight, okay? Because Diego Chavez is a guy that is willing to brawl with you. He does have good power. He's a good body puncher. All right, he has solid speed and he throws good combinations. You know, he got solid defense too. I mean, he's a solid fighter with some good punching power, and, you know, a guy that is willing to fight either way with you as well. This is why it makes it a good matchup. This is a sleeper matchup. I think the Brandon Rios fight was a little disappointing because all of the ugliness, all of the dirty fighting in there, all of the you know, the low blows and the rabbit punches, and, you know, I don't remember. I seen the fight the night of, and the fight had so much potential to be a good fight, and it was a disappointment, right? Chavez got disqualified in that fight, and now he's fighting Tim Bradley. So it could go either way. If Tim Bradley decides to outbox him and fight a smart, intelligent fight and stick to the game plan, he could outpoint Chavez pretty easily. I mean, not saying like maybe like 9-3, okay? But Tim, we know Tim. Tim is going to want to fight, all right? Chavez hit him with a good shot. Bradley's going to want to get him back. The only thing is, Bradley doesn't have the punching power, all right? He has a big head. He has a good chin. You know, he could tank punches, you know. I mean, for what he's been hurt, but he always gets up. He always gets up, all right? He's been knocked down. He's been dropped. He's been hurt. But, you know, he always continues. He's never been badly hurt to a point where, you know, he's been knocked out, obviously, because he only has 1 loss. But Chavez is a guy that can hurt Bradley, definitely. And I wouldn't advise Bradley to fight Chavez's fight, you know, especially early on in the beginning of the fight. I think Bradley is going to be the better boxer. It's going to be clear that Bradley is a better boxer between the two. All right, he has the quicker legs, you know. Chavez is pretty much flat-footed. You know, he has some solid movement, but for the most part, he's pretty flat-footed. But he has some good defense, and he throws good combinations, like I said. But Bradley, it really all depends on him. You know, he's gonna be the guy that's in control of this fight. You know, whatever way he wants the fight to go, it will go that way. If he wants to brawl with Chavez, wouldn't be smart. It will be a better action fight, but he'll be more in danger in getting knocked out, okay? And he'll be making it a close fight if he decides to engage Chavez in such a way where, you know, they're actually brawling, all right? Because he doesn't have the punching power to really hurt Chavez that bad. He just doesn't have it, all right? And Chavez does have it, okay? So, you know, I think the fight can only go 1 or 2 ways, you know? Bradley by decision, all right, or Chavez by knockout. You know, Chavez can win by knockout, you know, or by maybe he could stop him, or maybe he could drop him a few times and win by decision. But I think Bradley, you know, coming off his first loss, I think he's gonna fight a smart fight. Okay, I think he's gonna, you know, at some point, if he is fighting a dangerous fight and he's brawling with Chavez, I don't think it would be for too long. I think he will, you know, find a way to change things around and fight a little bit more intelligent, fight with a little bit more intellect, and you know, just outbox him. He's a better boxer between the two, hands down, and he should be able to outbox him for 12 rounds. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping for a good fight, but Bradley, you know, coming off his first loss, get this win, and it will put you right back up there with the top welterweights. I mean, he still is the top welterweights, but, you know, coming off a loss, he wants to look impressive, all right? Outbox him, use the jab, you know, use the movement, use the speed, as an advantage, okay? Don't sit here and trade with this guy, because this guy is stronger, he's bigger, and, you know, he's a real welterweight. These Argentinian fighters got so much power. I don't know where it comes from, but this guy, Chavez, got some power, okay? He had a tough fight, a good fight with Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman ended up knocking him out. But Keith Thurman even had his trouble a little bit early on in that fight, all right? So I'm expecting Tim Bradley to win by decision here, okay? He should be able to outbox him. I think he should take the same approach he did in the Marquez fight. And Chavez, you know, I expect Chavez's best bet in winning the fight is try to draw Bradley, be very aggressive, make Bradley fight your fight. That would be Chavez's best way of winning this fight, because there you can, you know, he would be able to hurt Bradley, possibly knocking him out or whatever. All right, so that's my prediction. I got Bradley by decision, and let me know what you guys think and subscribe to the channel.